inside R.A. Faginal Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College. It is Blue Jay basketball here on BlueJayTV.com as we've got the Blue Jays of Elmhurst playing host to the Redmen of Carthage in a CCIW battle. Glad to have you logged on along with Gina Veneer. My name is Mark Kruger, delighted to bring you all the action. And Elmhurst coming into tonight's game with an overall mark of 6-7. So they're looking to get back to the 500 mark with a victory here tonight. They are 1-1 in the CCIW as far as the Redmen of Carthage is concerned. Overall 8-5. They also are 1-1 in conference play. You take a look at this conference. Leading the conference is Augustana. They are 2-0. Everybody else is 1-1 except for Milliken, 0-2. And Gina, the Elmhurst Blue Jays coming off a tough loss on Saturday in Rock Island to Augustana, a game in which they scored only 45 points. So they're hoping to put a few more points on the board here tonight.
Absolutely. Talking to Coach Scheer at the beginning, before this game even started, he mentioned the importance of the CCIW contest. It's huge. They're playing host to Carthage, and they're wanting to really dominate. A big win against Milliken was kind of able to balance out that loss against Augustana that happened later on in the week. But this one, a huge one. They've got to snap this win tonight.
As far as the Carthage Redmen, they are coming off of a big win on Saturday in Kenosha, knocking off nationally ranked Illinois Wesleyan. And they just not only beat them, they annihilated them there, Gina, 73-52. So Carthage, a very good team, nationally ranked team as well.
Absolutely, and this is actually the 125th meeting between these two teams. Carthage definitely has an upper hand on the history. However, the past 10 seasons, that's Elmhurst, all Elmhurst. 7 of the past 10 Elmhurst has taken away. However, Mark, something important to note, the past 2 games Carthage has taken away. So this one, real important, as we all know.
Set the starting 5 for the Redmen of Carthage. The 2 seniors, John Sieski and Steve Jurakovic. Steve Jurakovic, will touch on him all night long. He's the conference leading scorer, 21 points per game, All-American a year ago. He's just an outstanding ball player for the Redmen. And then 3 sophomores, Mitch Thompson, Malcolm Kelly, and Tyler Pierce, a local product out of Westmont, the starting 5 for Bosco Jurakovic in his 15th year as the head coach of the Redmen. For Mark Scheer and the Elmhurst College Blue Jays, they bring out Mike McCurdy, Jr., Zach Boyd, a junior, Joe Acosta, a senior, James Robertson, a junior, and Eric Dornfeld is the 6'7 sophomore getting the start here tonight for Coach Scheer. And Sean Fenley, who usually starts and plays a lot, will not be in the lineup tonight.
That's a huge miss. Actually, he's going to be very much missed in this lineup. Sean Finley actually came from Carthage and is finishing out his career, his collegiate career here at Elmhurst. Tore his MCL, and he's expecting to be out for 4 weeks. So that is very unfortunate, and he'll be missed tonight.
Tip controlled by the Redmen. They get it inside to Pierce, and it's partially blocked. And the putback, however, is good by Mitch Thompson. And the Redmen are on the board first. The Blue Jays in their home white jerseys. The Redmen in their, obvious red traveling jerseys with the white numbers, the black trim on the side. And stepping out of bounds is the Blue Jays, so an early turnover here for Elmhurst. Carthage with the ball, up 2-0. Bosco Jurakovic, we mentioned him. This is his 15th year as the head coach of the Carthage Redmen. Before that, he spent 10 years as the head coach of North Park, where he was also the baseball head coach there as well. Turnover here for the Redmen. Mike McCurdy will inbound it to James Robertson. The 2 juniors in the backcourt for Coach Scheer. McCurdy popping out as Acosta. Robertson holding up top. Now this is Zach Boyd getting a touch. Dornfeld. They work it around the perimeter. 14 on the shot clock. Dornfeld heading it off to Acosta. Acosta, the 16-footer, hits the back iron, no good. Battle for the rebound in the corner, taken away by Jurakovic.
Well, Jurakovic is definitely the guy to be watchful for. This is something that Coach Scheer expressed at the beginning of the game. His expectations for tonight is going to have a 2-man defense actually trying to pretty much to tame Jurakovic as a player. And he mentioned Zach Boyd and Joe Acosta to kind of be the two guys to kind of control this player.
He's holding it on the far side, guarded right now by Acosta. He'll take the three and he'll hit it. Nothing but net. Wow. So Steve Jurakovic puts the Redmen on top here, 5-0 in the early going. Here's Zach Boyd. We'll see if he can get on track early. Nope. Hits the back iron. Long rebound, and Acosta does a nice job of hustling and picking up in the backcourt for the Blue Jays.
Well, that's something that you can always expect Joe Acosta to do. He's a hustler, a lot of passion, a lot of emotion for the game of basketball, and any coach is going to appreciate that kind of play.
Robertson hits the three. So Robertson answers Jurakovic's three, and it's 5-3 Carthage. Opening moments of this CCIW matchup. Mark Kruger, Gina Veneer. Glad to have you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Thompson on the block, brings it up top to Sieski. Here's Jurakovic. Jurakovic veers off to the right, back on top. This is Pierce as he drives, and an offensive foul on Tyler Pierce. His first and the team's first. Tyler, a third-team All-CCIW performer a year ago, 12.5 points per game. Coach Jurakovic saying that he's a much better face-up shooter this year. He's added some inside moves. And he says he's a much better player here during his sophomore campaign.
Well, not only is the Carthage coach going to say that, but Coach Shear also expressed that same type of attitude about Pierce as a player, another guy that they're going to have to really control on this Redmond basketball team.
Yeah, Carthage was a pretty nice 1-2 punch as it looks like we got a blocking foul called on Mike McCurdy. You've got Steve Jurakovic who can hit from the perimeter, and then you got the big guy Tyler Pierce down on the block.
Absolutely. Pierce, huge under the basket for rebounds, always picking up boards. He averages 4.2 rebounds per game, but Jurakovic, a guy that you could talk about all day long, CCIW Player of the Year last year, and he was actually Player of the Week last year. I'm sorry, last week.
Yeah, for the third time this season, he was the CCIW Player of the Week. Offensive rebound, and the putback no good by Dornfeld. Tough break for Eric, as he couldn't get it to go. Yeah, 3 times Jurakovic was CCIW Player of the Year, and for his career at Carthage, I believe he's had 13 different CCIW Players of the Week. So winding down a brilliant career at Carthage. He's 5th, I believe, on the all-time scoring list in conference.
Yes, he is the senior for Carthage. He has racked up 2,274 career points.
Gina, that's 2 now on Mike McCurdy, so he's going to have to sit down here at the 16-12 mark. Coach Scher is probably going to have to get him out of the game.
Well, I think you're right, Mark, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to put in the sophomore, Deontay Foster, to kind of replace McCurdy, give him a break, have him cool off a little bit after picking up 2 early fouls in this game, which is something with a lot of time left here in the first half you have to be mindful and very careful of, those early fouls.
So Malcolm Kelly hits the 2 free throws, and Carthage with the 4-point lead here, 7-3. Joe Acosta taking it all the way and could not get it to go. Jurakovic with the rebound. Boy, nice drive, just couldn't finish. Just over 4 minutes gone by here in this first half. Here's Jurakovic, and he takes it all the way in for the bucket.
Boy, he can do it all, and we've already seen that. A little less than 5 minutes in the game, and he is already taking over.
Early on in his career, as we got a 30-second timeout, Gina, taken by Coach Scher, he was more or less a kind of a perimeter player, took it to the hoop every once in a while, but the last couple of years, he has really developed the outside shot, and that 3-point field goal has really helped his game. 21
points per game just this season. He's a guy that has gotten plenty of pats on the back, as we mentioned, plenty of times of getting recognition in the CCIW, which, as we all know and mentioned last night at the women's game, it's a tough conference to be in, and he's a star in this conference.
And it's very, very tough to play on the road here. Carthage on the road is 0-2. They have not won a road game. Elmhurst is 4-2 here at R.A. Fagnall Hall, so let's hope the Blue Jays can continue to play well here at home. After that 30-second timeout, we'll see if the Blue Jays can get a good shot here. Dornfeld popping out top. Here's Robertson as they work it around, trying to get Dornfeld. They got him down on the block. He leans in, and it was knocked out of bounds. We got a foul, or yes, we do. I believe it's on the big fella, and it is going to be on Tyler Pierce. Now that's his second. So Coach Jurakovic, he's going to go to his bench as well, and Pierce is going to have to sit down with those two personals. First free throw is a little bit short by Dornfeld. He'll have one more. Coming into the game, Nick Bausch, a freshman. So Pierce on the bench with 2 fouls for Carthage. McCurdy on the bench with 2 fouls for Elmhurst.
Well, Elmhurst probably pretty happy about the fact that Pierce is finding some time on the bench. However, they'd like to get McCurdy back into the game, but we all know he might have to be a little less aggressive.
Mitch Thompson holding here on the near side, giving it off to Jurakovic. Skip pass over to the far side. Kelly hits the 3. Malcolm Kelly with 5, and it's a 12-3 early lead here for Carthage. Robertson up top. Here's Dornfeld. Zach Boyd holding on top. Acosta in the left corner, 15 on the shot clock. Foster as they work it around the perimeter. Acosta brings it out to Foster. 6 on the shot clock. Deontay's going to have to get things going here. 2 on the shot clock. Leans in and he hits. Wow. Only a 2 though, but the Blue Jays will take it.
Good move by Foster. Decent ball movement around the perimeter there by the Blue Jays. Obviously getting into crunch time there at the end, but a great shot by Foster.
Brings the Blue Jays to within 7 at 12-5. Jurakovic will just step up and launch the 3. Hit the front iron, no good. Strong rebound by Zach Boyd. Zach pushing it up for the Blue Jays. Takes it all the way into the lane, leans in, off the glass, count it, and he'll come to the line.
Well, 2 great runs in a row by the Blue Jays. And, Mark, you got to talk about the importance of not letting too heavy of a margin get in between these 2 teams. Carthage, if you let them continue to kind of take those open shots, especially those three-pointers by Jurakovic, it's just going to start killing you. I know that in the college game, you've got 2 very long halves, but it's important to stay ahead and do so very early.
So Zach Boyd completes the 3-point play. Steve Crane and also Aaron Schroeder are into the lineup for the Blue Jays. It's 12-8 in favor of Carthage. Jurakovic kicks it out to Kelly. His second 3 attempt is no good, but an offensive rebound, and the putback is no good by Nick Bausch, but he was fouled. Steve Crane with his first, the team's 3rd. So Bausch to the line to shoot 2. 6'7" freshman out of Rockford, Illinois, hits the first. Carthage a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line tonight, and they've got the 14-8 lead here. 13:45 remaining here in this first half. Inside to Crane, nobody behind him, so he goes to the left hand, no. Offensive rebound, putback is good, and he was fouled. So we saw Zach Boyd complete the 3-point play a moment ago, and now Steve Crane with an opportunity to do the same.
Gotta love the second effort coming out of the 6'7" junior in Steve Crane, finding himself the opportunity for a 3-point play here.
Nick Bausch guilty of the personal foul, his first and the team's 4th. Crane's free throw is no good, but he gets it back. And a fresh 35-second shot clock. Foster will launch the 3, hit the back iron, no, and the rebound to Malcolm Kelly. Kelly pushing it up here for the Redmen. Picked up his dribble, now brings it out top to Thompson. Back to Kelly, and they'll reload the offense. Jurakovic makes the move. Thompson was out of bounds, so he'll turn the ball over to Elmhurst here at the 13-10 mark of the first half.
Well, I think what Coach Scheer is looking for on this possession for the Blue Jays is just that, Mark, to reload their offense, slow things down, get into a rhythm, set up a play, move the ball, and, you know, you've got 30 seconds, at least under 30 seconds now, but that last possession, he had a lot of time, and throwing up shots is, I don't think, exactly what Coach Scheer was looking for on that last possession.
Nice flash by Steve Crane as he took it to the hoop, but he walked one too many steps. Will turn the ball over. Yeah, Elmhurst coming into this game, Gina, they average 60, I believe it's 62 points per game, 63, and Carthage 78 points per game. So the Redmen certainly like to push the tempo, and it'll be important for the Blue Jays to control that tempo as we see Jurakovic hit. 7 for Steve.
Well, Carthage, by the numbers, is definitely a better-looking basketball player on paper right now, leading by 6 early on in the first half, but Elmhurst has just got to keep grinding. This is a basketball team that does just that. Coach Scheer loves the fact that they don't give up, and they play hard all throughout the game.
3-ball attempt by Robertson, no good. Rebound Zach Boyd, however. Bring it back out to Foster. Foster penetrates, lost it, got it back. 3-ball by Schroeder, in and out. Boy, that was right there, halfway down, just couldn't get it to go.
Schroeder, definitely a guy that you can be called a threat outside that three-point line, absolutely.
That's a great word Gina used, grinding, and that's what this Elmhurst team really has to do tonight, just grind it out. Every possession is so critical, and a blocking foul is going to be called as Jurakovic took it to the right baseline.
Well, the whole idea of that is just that Coach Scheer has a tendency of bringing in a lot of different players, as you're seeing a couple more check in right now in Acosta and McCurdy. But he's switching up the lineup a lot of times, and that really forces his players to work hard on the floor. You know, they're all looking for a solid spot, that starting spot, and Zach Boyd is definitely one that you know is going to be in there consistently. But the rest of the guys, that's exactly what they have to do to get noticed.
Nick Clattis, number 5, is into the game for Carthage. Here's Jurakovic, guarded by Acosta. Thompson, he has the open 18-footer, no good. Air ball, rebound to Steve Crane. Robertson will spot up. He'll fire the 3-ball and he'll hit it. James Robertson with his second field goal from downtown, and it's only a 3-point Carthage lead.
Big three-pointer there, Mark.
16-13, coming up on the halfway mark of this first half, and a steal by Robertson. 2-on-1. Robertson will pull up from the elbow and hit. James Robertson with 8 points, and Carthage calling a timeout here. Coach Bosco, Jurakovic not liking what he sees as the Blue Jays are within 16-15, a 30-second timeout taken by the Redmen. So the Blue Jays battling back. Good effort. Couple of field goals by James Robertson, the junior. And just like that, the Blue Jays are back into this one.
That's what we're looking for, Mark. Somebody that's going to come in, create a spark for this team, get them going, and compete against this Carthage team that is a great basketball team. They're always coming to play, traveling all the way to Elmhurst to compete in this CCIW game.
Carthage defending CCIW champions. And they're favored to win again this year, along with Augustana and Illinois Wesleyan. Those three should probably be your favorites. But you never know. That's why they play the games, right, Gene?
Absolutely. Coach Scheer talked about basically this game being so critical.
Yeah.
They're looking to have, a top 4 spot, one of the 4 spots that's available to make it through in the CCIW tournament, which is it's tough to do, especially in the caliber of this tournament and this conference. But that's exactly what they're looking to do. 1 of 4.
Clattis misses the 3. Costa with the rebound. Inside to Crane. Crane on top, and it's stolen. Here's Malcolm Kelly. Does not have the numbers. Kick it back out as we see Pierce back into the ball game for Carthage. Kelly will launch the 3. In and out. Pierce with the rebound. And the 3-ball outside by Clattis is no good. So Carthage has kind of gone cold here a little bit. Elmhurst trailing by 1, and it's blocked out of bounds by Pierce. It will remain Blue Jay ball. 25 on the shot clock. McCurdy will trigger the inbound here for Elmhurst. In the game for Carthage, Pace Bennett, a junior, 6'2 junior out of Moline, Illinois. Schroeder holding. Now on top to Acosta. 20 on the shot clock. Here's Robertson. Acosta with 10 on the shot clock. Joe making the move. Brings it out. Schroeder will fire up the three, and he'll hit it. Aaron Schroeder in the scoring, and he gives the Blue Jays a 2-point lead. Good patience that trip down by the Blue Jays.
Big three-pointer going to give Elmhurst their first lead of the game.
Jurakovic guarded by Acosta. Joe's done a pretty good job on him here in this first half. Oh, beautifully done. Going to the left hand, Nick Bausch. Nick with 4, and we are tied at 18.
Well, I think there was no question for Coach Scheer to put number 25, Joe Acosta, their best defensive player, against the Carthage best offensive player.
Crane battling down low. He gets the offensive rebound. He was fouled. So Steve will come back to the free throw line to shoot 2. And that's what the Blue Jays need, that type of effort on the offensive glass tonight. Nick Bausch guilty of the foul. That's his second and the team's 5th. Crane hits the first free throw. He's got 3 points on the night and breaks the tie. Elmhurst by 1. Mitch Thompson back into the game here for the Redmen. So Crane will have one more. He'll hit it. Blue Jays by 2. Good start so far to this first half, I'm sure, for Mark Scheer and the Blue Jays. Of course, Elmhurst a year ago only 1-13 in the CCIW, 6-19 overall, and it looks like they're going to hit Acosta with a reach-in foul. Joe not happy with that call, his first. It was a shooting foul, so that'll bring Jurakovic to the line, an excellent free throw shooter, 85%. One of the leading free throw shooters in the conference as well.
Well, as you mentioned, Mark, the Blue Jays definitely struggled a lot last year, and it was obvious and very evident in their record. However, they came out and have been doing a decent job as a basketball team overall. So far this season, we're still very early on, just starting in CCIW play. However, something important to note is just the loss of Sean Finley. Unfortunately, they're unable to use him for the next 4 weeks, and he tore his MCL actually the day before the first conference game started. It's a huge loss in that player. He's a great shooter, but they're going to find other guys to get the job done.
We're tied at 20, just over 8 minutes to go here. Schroeder making the move, taking it all the way, leans in. Crane with another offensive rebound and the putback. Steve with 6. And that breaks the tie. Blue Jays by 2, 22-20. Glad to have you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Mark Kruger along with Gina Veneer bringing you all the action here from R.A. Fagnall Hall in Elmhurst. CCIW basketball. Bounce pass inside to Pierce, back to Jurakovic. Thought about the 3, stepped in and took a 12-footer, no good. Rebound to Crane. Here's James Robertson working around a Crane screen. Robertson open for a 3-ball. He hits it. His 3rd 3 tonight.
Wow.
11 points for Robertson.
All right, Robertson stepping up. Wow, you can just see the softness in his hands and the release of the basketball. So smooth, nothing but leather and lace right there.
He's got the hot hand. Boy, you got to keep giving it to him. 25-20, Blue Jays by 5. Thompson stepped down the end line as the Redmen will turn the ball over to the Blue Jays. Into the game, Eric Ellingson, a senior for Elmhurst. Schroeder will sit down here at the 7:08 mark. See if they can get Robertson free again here. Why not, right?
Absolutely.
He's been the hot hand. Here's Ellingson. Zach Boyd holding as he works around a Crane screen. Boyd takes it all the way to the left hand. No. Look at Crane battling for the rebound. Couldn't get it, though. Thompson came away with it for Carthage.
What I've noticed out of Steve Crane is coming off the bench, he's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more passionate, And you love to see that in a player, and that's exactly what a coach does. Try to get that fire underneath them, you know, after not starting.
Oh, beautiful off-balance shot there by Malcolm Kelly. 7 on the night for Kelly, 25-22. Boyd gives it up. Here's McCurdy. He has an open 17-footer, and he will hit. Mike McCurdy on the board. 27-22. Elmhurst shooting very well here in this first half. Eric Dornfeld getting ready to check back in. A good sign for Coach Scher. Pierce at the free throw line, and a steal, near steal by Mike McCurdy as he stepped out of bounds. Dornfeld will check back in for Elmhurst. Now, we mentioned the Elmhurst College Blue Jays coming off that loss to Augustana on Saturday. They shot just 17% in the opening half of that ball game. A lot better shooting percentage tonight.
Already we are seeing a different team, and then the team that was played and lost against Augustana in a huge conference game. But, you know, you've got to come ready to play, especially against a team like this, you know, defending champions of a very tough conference. Knowing coming into this game, I'm sure there was a lot of practice, a lot of preparation, and hard work before this contest.
Your 3 officials tonight, Dan Dorian, Rob Kruger, and Jerry Scherzinger. 3 solid officials in tonight's game. Mitch Thompson will inbound it here for Carthage. 20 seconds on the shot clock. We're under the 6-minute mark. Kelly will spot it for the 3, and he will hit it. Malcolm Kelly is having a huge first half. He's got 10 points for the Redmen.
Well, keeping things close. He's doing a good job of doing that for his basketball team. However, Elmhurst hot on offense. Let's see if they can keep it going.
27-25. McCurdy with an off-balance shot. Connects for the second time.
All right, big fan of the Blue Jays right here, Mark. You know I'm passionate. I'm a softball player myself, an athlete here on campus. So I'm a huge fan of Elmhurst athletics and always rooting on the Blue Jays. Gotta love to see those shots.
Elmhurst by 4, 29-25. Bennett holding. Guarded by McCurdy. Kelly will launch another 3. Hit the front of the rim this time, and Dornfeld with the rebound for the Blue Jays.
Great defense there by the Blue Jays.
Zach Boyd's 3 no good. Mitch Thompson skying to get the rebound for Carthage. 29-25 Blue Jays. Gutsy effort here at home so far against a very good Carthage team. Pierce gives it right back to Kelly. Here's Bennett. Jurakovic on the bench right now for Carthage. Malcolm Kelly with the ball. He's your scoring threat really for Carthage. He will pull up from 15, no good. Robertson gets the rebound. James from the free throw line. Oh, has it blocked by Thompson. And here's Mitch Thompson in transition. One man back, and that's Robertson. And he commits the foul, but that was actually, Gina, a very good foul. Oh, they're calling a breakaway foul. Oh, boy, Coach Scher does not like that call. This would give Thompson 2 free throws, and Carthage will get the ball back. Now the 2 officials are discussing things. Gina, I don't know. To me, it looked like it was just a foul.
Yeah,
I
just
didn't think
plain
it was,
and simple. Yeah,
just a plain, simple foul.
I think for me, what's noteworthy is seeing James Robertson after kind of getting embarrassed, that block shot, getting his butt back and playing defense. Great effort, and I think any coach is going to love to see that and almost be on his side every time. However, a foul's a foul. And a technical foul is going to be issued as well.
Wow. So if things go, from what I understand, it's a breakaway foul, and then Coach Scher got slapped with a T. So Steve Jurakovic now is back into the game. Now he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot the technical. Boy, oh boy, this is a tough break for the Blue Jays. This will be the second free throw of the technical as Jurakovic hits them both. So now Thompson will have the two free throws on the foul by Robertson.
Wow.
And if it was a breakaway, yeah, they're bringing everybody back. So it'll be a 2-shot foul for Thompson, and then Carthage will get the ball back. So this could very well be a 6 or a 7-point trip down for Carthage. Wow.
Well, and what looked like Elmhurst starting to dominate, not only on offense is what we've been seeing, a lot of hot shooting. Two of their hottest shooters on the bench now, in Robertson and Boyd, but great defense as well, and this is something that stops that sort of play and kind of almost, sizzles, just kind of brings down that fire that was kind of going for the Blue Jays. Now Carthage with possession and a chance to get ahead.
And now we've got an offensive foul against Carthage before they even inbound the ball, and that's going to be on Steve Jurakovic, his first.
Well, with under 5 minutes to play in this one, Mark, nothing less than entertainment.
Stay tuned, folks. Stay logged on to BlueJayTV.com. This is going to be a heck of a second half, I got a feeling. Well, after that trip, the Blue Jays still have the lead here, 29-28, if you can believe that. Acosta leans in, goes to the glass, no, gets it back, turns, shoots, and a foul. Joe Acosta with some hard work on the offensive glass. He'll shoot two.
Acosta, great player, a guy you got to have in your lineup. You can see second, third, sometimes fourth efforts out of Acosta. Find himself at the line now.
Sieski with the personal foul, his second, as Acosta hits the free throw. So Joe in the scoring column now for the Blue Jays.
Acosta, the senior here for the Blue Jays, and a guy that's worked his tail off since the start. He's dedicated to the program, he's dedicated to the coaching staff, and he's been here 4 years. He absolutely deserves to be out there.
You gotta love to have players like that work 4 years for your program. Marlin Sr., number 30, is into the ballgame for Carthage. It's a 3-point Blue Jays lead here, 31-28. Sieski only a 2, but nevertheless it brings the Redmen to within 1, 31-30. 3:25 remaining here in this first half. Mark Kruger along with Gina Veneer. Glad to have you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jays playing tough here tonight against a very good Carthage team. Dornfeld, no good, and a rebound, Carthage. Malcolm Kelly went up strong to get the rebound for the Redmen. Jurakovic wants a screen by Thompson. Now he works off to the left. Drives, pulls up, and hits. Nice bucket there by Steve Jurakovic, and Carthage recaptures the lead, 32-31.
Well, the defense has definitely got to be tighter for Elmhurst. I know they have 7 fouls, but you got to stay aggressive, hand in the face at all times.
Schroeder picks up his dribble. McCurdy, here's Dornfeld. McCurdy will fire the 3, can't get it to go, and the rebound, Thompson.
It's a great offensive setup.
I was just going to say, yeah, it was a good look.
Excellent look.
Jurakovic back out on top to Thompson, back to Jurakovic. Guarded by Acosta. Skip pass over to Senior. Senior on the drive, travel. Back into the game for the Blue Jays is James Robertson along with Steve Crane. Dornfeld will have a breather as looks like Coach Mark Scher calling a 30-second timeout here. 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in this ball game. And Gina, if you're Coach Scher, you certainly have to be pleased with the way your team has played tonight. They have shot the ball very well here.
They have. They've done an excellent job on offense. We've also seen a lot of hustle out of the players on the floor in the defensive side of things, but also that technical foul, we'll kind of see how that plays out in the first half, but it could be a huge turning point. Whether or not it gets these guys even more fired up, we'll have to see. It should be an excellent second half and very entertaining, as we mentioned before.
2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining here in this first half. Both teams with 7 team fouls, so both teams will be shooting 1 and the bonus. from here to the rest of the half. Leading the way for the Blue Jays in scoring, James Robertson, he's got 11. Steve Jurakovic has 13 to lead Carthage. Under 2 minutes to go here in this first half. Backdoor by Robertson, and a foul is going to be called. John Sieski, I've got him with 3. So 1:51 remaining. Coach Jurakovic, at least for now, is leaving Sieski in, and now he's going to bring in Pace Bennett.
Well, Sieski's got 3 as an individual, and the team as a collective have 8, which is going to put Robertson at the line for some free shots.
First free throw is good by Robertson to give him a dozen.
Keep the ball in this guy's hands, huh?
You got it. 1 for 2, but there's Steve Crane with a huge offensive rebound. What a job he's done on the boards here in this first half. 3 ball by Schroeder, back iron. There's Crane again. Crane, yes, and a foul. Steve Crane has been all over the offensive boards here in this first half.
Offensive boards is going to give him second looks at the basket. Wow, what a drive. A great put up there. Here we go, opportunity for a 3-point play and to put the Blue Jays up as they inch their way ahead of this tough Carthage basketball team. There we go.
Completes the 3, and more importantly, Jurakovic, that was his second personal foul, Gina. So 1:35 remaining. Blue Jays back on top. They lead by 3, 35-32. Jurakovic going back to work. This is Senior. Senior handing it back to Steve. .12 on the shot clock. Jurakovic will launch the 3 ball, in and out, and back in again. Jurakovic with his second field goal from downtown. Ties the game up at 35 with just a minute remaining. Bounce pass into Crane. Crane with a half hook, no good. Thompson with the rebound. Well, pretty good look that time, just a little too strong off the glass for Steve. 3 ball. Jurakovic, no. McCurdy with the rebound. Blue Jays looking to push it up. McCurdy will pull up from about 17, and he will not get the roll. Thompson with yet another rebound for Carthage. He's had a bunch of rebounds. 2
bad luck rolls there on the last 2 possessions for the offensive side of things for the Blue Jays. And Carthage, with the shot clock going dark, is looking for 1 possession here.
About a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Shot clock now at 7. Taking it all the way and laying it in is Pace Bennett. His first 2 points of the game. 3 seconds to go. Blue Jays can still get one off. Robertson at the buzzer hits the back iron, and it's no good. What a first half it has been. Exciting first half. The Blue Jays and the Redmen. We are at halftime with Carthage on top by a score of 37-35. And Gina, a well-played first half.
Absolutely, and this game has been back and forth as we've seen the entire first half, as we've been seeing both teams grinding back and forth and knowing that this is a very important game for both of these 2 teams.
Steve Jurakovic leading all scorers with 16 first half points. Malcolm Kelly had 10. James Robertson with a dozen for the Blue Jays. Steve Crane with 9 for Elmhurst. So we'll take a timeout, come back and recap this exciting first half. We'll have stats and highlights for you as well. It's all coming up next. Thank you for logging on BlueJayTV.com.
The balance with athletics in school, it's just, with me, I did it all throughout high school, so I needed to do sports in order to stay focused. I run cross country in the fall and track in the spring. I was injured my freshman year and I just felt like so off track. It didn't feel natural. Like I think a lot of the students coming from high school and coming to D3, it's like what they need to stay focused. I mean, if you could do it in high school, you could do it here. The bigger schools, you don't have the coach time like you do here. You can just join the team and just have fun. We actually just went to Tennessee for a spring break trip, so it was different. It was a lot of fun being able to travel. We had 2 first place finishes, so it was kind of impressive. It's nice having like that other family aside from like, you know, being at home because you're with them all the time. Don't be afraid to go out there and try new things.
And we welcome you back to R.A. Fagnall Hall alongside Gina Vanier, Mark Kruger. We are so delighted to have you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. We are at halftime here at R.A. Fagnall Hall with the Redmen of Carthage on top by a score of 37-35 over the Blue Jays of Elmhurst. And Gina, despite the Blue Jays being down 2 points, though, they still played pretty well in that first half.
They absolutely did. Coach Shear has got to be pleased going into halftime, into that locker room, telling his guys, hey, let's keep this thing going. We're playing great defense, excellent on offense, being very hot on their shooting percentages, and a guy like Robertson coming in and starting that flame to burn that fire for the Blue Jays, and hopefully they keep it going in the second half.
He was the leading scorer with 12 first half points, but how about Steve Crane? He did a remarkable job coming off the bench, as you talked about. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds.
Yes, and they need him to step up again in the second half, and I'm seeing out on the court right now that he will be actually sitting the bench, so maybe that fire can be sparked again by having him come off the bench. And we mentioned that before, just kind of getting a player a little bit more into it, a little bit more emotional and itching to get out there.
Elmhurst actually out-rebounded Carthage in that first half, 20-17, only 3 turnovers for the Blue Jays in that first half. Yeah,
that's impressive.
Carthage with 7 turnovers, blocked by Pierce out of bounds to Elmhurst.
Well, Mark, what I think is a key to the second half is getting guys like the consistent players on your team in Zach Boyd and Mike McCurdy to start shooting the ball and taking notes from James Robertson, not being afraid to fly that thing up there, and Dornfeld taking it in as well.
Oh, counted, and the bucket, and one. So a good start for the Blue Jays and Eric Dornfeld.
Dornfeld, the 6'7" sophomore, finding himself starting out the second half with this Blue Jay basketball team.
Mitch Thompson with the personal foul, his first, as that free throw no good. Bodies on the floor here, and a timeout taken. I believe Carthage calling a timeout. Kelly had possession, and I believe he's the one who called the timeout. And it is looks like it's going to be a 30-second timeout indeed taken by the Redmen. We'll get to the rest of the first half numbers for you. Carthage in that first half, 12 of 24 from the field, 50%. They were 4 of 11 from behind the arc. Elmhurst, 12 of 34, 35%. They were 4 of 10 from behind the arc for 40%, and 7 of 11 from the free throw line for 64%. So hopefully that shooting can continue for the Blue Jays here in this second half. (37-37). Early moments of the second half. Mark Kruger along with Gina Vanier and the rest of our crew. So glad you logged on. Pierce, he had a tough first half. He had foul trouble, but his turnaround is good.
Tyler Pierce, it's hard not to compare him to the baby face of the Boston Celtics. He reminds me so much of Eddie Davis from the Boston Celtics. Just the build, the type of player he is. Somebody that you have to love, having that strong type of build of a player in your lineup.
39-37, McCurdy trying to tie it. Nope, Pierce with the rebound for Carthage. Jurakovic will walk it up here for the Redmen. 2-point lead for Carthage. Bounce pass inside to Pierce. Pierce makes the move, the flop, Dornfeld, and an offensive foul. Are they going to call offense or? Oh no, they're going to call it on Dornfeld, his first. No, they're going to call an offensive foul.
All right.
Check that.
Blue Jays ball here early on.
Pierce shaking his head, Gina. That's his third. So back to the bench for Pierce. Nick Bausch is going to come back in. So it's been a tough night for the sophomore Tyler Pierce. plagued by foul trouble throughout this ballgame.
Well, and as we both know, it's very early on in this game. Just getting started here in the second half, and having Pierce sit the bench, not a bad thing for the Blue Jays.
That's right. Deontay Foster checking in for the Blue Jays. Joe Acosta, Dornfeld, Robertson. He had the hot first half for Elmhurst. We'll see if it can continue here in the second half. Foster with the entry pass into Dornfeld. Acosta for three, no good, and the rebound by Kelly, and Malcolm got fouled. It's going to be on Dornfeld, his second.
Well, on that offensive possession, we saw Jarakovic playing very tight defense on the hot shooter James Robinson on that set, which is leaving players open, which can be good, but we need somebody else to step up and be an offensive spark.
Jarakovic, Acosta on him. Jarakovic pulls up. Cannot get it to go. Rebound, Dornfeld. Eric gives it up to Foster. Deontay pushing it up here for the Blue Jays. Take the 18-footer, hit the front iron, no good. Rebound to Kelly. Malcolm makes the moves, goes to the glass and puts it in.
Wow, good drive. Great drive there by Malcolm Kelly. Putting them up by 4 now.
A dozen points for Kelly. 41-37. Zach Boyd taking it all the way, leans in a little too hard, but there's Robertson. And he'll bring it out to Foster in a fresh shot clock.
Good idea to reset here for the Blue Jays on offense, and now a foul. Unfortunately, an offensive foul in that one. Going to be on...
I believe it's going to be Deontay Foster.
It's going to be on Foster, yeah.
His first. Back into the game, Aaron Schroeder for the Blue Jays. Joe Acosta will take a breather here at the 17:05 mark.
Well, with what was a chance to reset and get an offensive start, getting it going, turned into a foul in the possession of the Redmen, and an opportunity now for Jarakovic to have a three-point play opportunity.
Boy, oh boy, he takes the ball to the hoop so well there. Zach Boyd guilty of the foul. Zach's second. Jarakovic's first 2 points of the second half. He's got 18 on the night. Crane back into the game along with McCurdy. And just like that, Carthage is up by 6. And now they're up by 7. 19 on the night for Jarakovic. He averages 21 in conference play.
Well, this is an important possession, and I know it's very early on in the second half, but now is the time to get things started. Got to get a shot off here, and we have to make it fall.
Well, they tried to get it inside to Crane. Perhaps a little too hard of a pass by Robertson, turns the ball over.
Well, it wasn't a bad idea there, pushing it into Crane, who was posting up down low, who likely would have had an easy turnaround layup. But now turn over and into the possession of the Redmen once again.
Jarakovic picks up his dribble, gives it off to Sieski. Sieski loses it to Crane. Crane gives it up to Robertson. James will spot up for the three ball, and it's short. Crane battling for the rebound. Coming away with it, Zach Boyd. Again, a second opportunity is good.
Great second effort there by Boyd, and that's exactly what they need. They need Boyd to step up, start taking shots, because we all know, and he knows himself, that he can make them.
Gina, that was a huge offensive rebound in the putback. Brings the Blue Jays to within 5, 44-39. Jarakovic dumping it down to Bausch, out of bounds to the Redmen. Full slate of games going on in the CCIW tonight. Illinois Wesleyan is in Decatur taking on Milliken. Cardinals of North Central in Chicago taking on North Park. And Wheaton in Rock Island taking on Augustana. Kelly will spot up from 17, leave it short, and the rebound comes down to McCurdy. Mike looking ahead.
Good push.
Comes around a screen, takes it all the way. Thompson with a block. Thompson, a third-team All-CCIW member last year. Well, he's got long arms, doesn't he, Thompson?
Yeah.
10.
That was the time for McCurdy to just stop and maybe put up an easy little bunny shot instead of trying to take it all the way in, but we'll see what can happen here.
Robertson drives, the floater leaves it short, And the rebound goes into the arms of Jurakovic.
Well, Mark, I think control is the key word right now. We're seeing the Redmen coming out strong. Though they're only up by 5, it's important, very important now more than ever, up by 7, to control this Redmen offense.
Nick Bausch hitting the offensive glass. Brings the Redmen now lead it by 7, and that's going to force Coach Scher to call a timeout, and we'll take one as well here with 15:02 remaining here in the second half. The Redmen of Carthage lead it by 7, 46-39. We're back right after this.
I have had a great experience at Elmhurst. I'm obviously involved with the volleyball program. We're like sisters. It was instant friends as soon as I came here. Every year, the seniors get to pick places where we want to go for a tournament. So we've been to California, Colorado, Boston, and it's just been a fun experience because not only do we play volleyball, we also get to do touristy types of things. I would say we're pretty close because we practice 5 days a week for 2.5 hours. We're lifting, we're doing bonding things, and we're traveling on the weekends. So you're pretty much with these girls for 3 months every single day for hours. So we're all pretty close.
And we welcome you back inside R.A. Fagnall Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College. Mark Kruger along with Gina Veneer. Thank you so much for staying logged on to BlueJayTV.com. 15:02 remaining here in the ball game. Carthage leading by 7. We'll see after that Elmhurst timeout. We'll see if the Blue Jays can get back into this one. Although plenty of time left. Costa. Crane at the elbow. 13 on the shot clock. Schroeder gives it up to McCurdy. His 17-footer is good. Got the kind roll.
He certainly did. The friendly bounce coming off the hands of Mike McCurdy. And here we go, within 5.
Mike with 6. 46-41. Popping out is Kelly. Kelly guarded by McCurdy. That's a good matchup. Jurakovic. Guarded by Acosta. That's another good matchup. Steve will launch the 3. Boy, he's just got a quick release.
Wow.
22 on the night for Jurakovic.
Just waits for one half step back by Acosta, and he's like, all right, I'm going to take this shot.
Yeah. Such a quick release, and he has worked so hard on that outside perimeter game. Crane with a beautiful move. Count the bucket and the foul. So Steve Crane continuing his fine play. Foul on Nick Bausch, his 3rd.
Well, can't help but attempt to stop the 6'7" junior in Steve Crane. And here we go, a chance to put things back within 5 here for Crane as he will be shooting this free throw, 3-point play opportunity.
David Mariani, number 22, a 6'5" sophomore, into the game for Carthage. Free throw is good by Steve Crane. Crane with 12 points on the night. Him and Robertson are the leading scorers for the Blue Jays, each of them with 12. Elmhurst within 5, 49-44. Kelly goes glass. No, and there's Crane with yet another rebound.
Great move by Kelly. Better defense by McCurdy.
Here's McCurdy, top of the key. Drives, goes to the right hand, and it's no good. Jurakovic will jog it up here for Carthage. Jurakovic looking for a foul. Stops at the free throw line, turns, shoots, back iron, no, but there's Thompson with the rebound. New shot clock for Carthage. Poked away momentarily by Acosta. Jurakovic gets it back. Well, you got to feel Jurakovic wants to take the shot every time down. Thompson will fire the 3 and hit. Huge bucket by Mitch Thompson. Thompson with 6, sophomore out of Orland Park. The lead is 8 now for the Redmen, 52-44. 12:35 remaining. Inside to Crane. Crane gets double teamed and loses the ball, but getting it is Joe Acosta. Count it, and the foul.
All right.
Joe Acosta, scrappy play. Picking up the loose ball, putting it back up strong, and got fouled by David Mariani, his first.
Acosta in the right place at the right time on that possession. Crane, though, doing a great job posting up, constantly looking for the ball, working very hard to get the ball.
And Acosta's free throw is short. And a whistle. We got a foul called. I believe they're going to hit Steve Crane with the foul. His second.
Well, I think he might have just gotten caught up underneath those 6'7", his feet being a 6'7" guy, and tumbled over top and gets himself a foul. And here we go, Carthage with possession.
52-46. Jurakovic, the All-American, going to work here. Passes it off here to the near side. Sieski will fire and hit the three. Wow, John Sieski, no hesitation that time, Gina. He just got it launched.
Well, unfortunately, what we're seeing out of the Redmen, unfortunately for the Blue Jays, is every time Jurakovic gets the ball, there's a lot of pressure. Is he going to shoot it? Which is constantly making the defense think that. Acosta's working very hard at playing defense, staying low, but all he has to do is pass it off to someone else and allow them the chance to make a shot.
Robertson coming up top. James gives it off to McCurdy. 7 on the shot clock. McCurdy driving, kicks it out to Schroeder. His three ball is no good. Crane with the rebound. Putback is good. Steve Crane has been a man down on the block tonight.
He absolutely has, showing it right there, and I love the fact that he took it right up, didn't even think twice about kicking it back out for a reset. He's like, I'm taking this up myself.
14 points on the night for Steve Crane. And you're right, Gene. I think not starting Steve Crane, I think he kind of took that a little personal.
Yes.
Coming off the bench. He's just been a crazy man out there.
Well, that's definitely sending a message.
Yeah, how about it? Well, sending a message is Steve Jurakovic hitting another three, his fourth from downtown. 25 for Jurakovic. The lead is 10.
Well, with a little over 10 minutes to play, now is the time to start controlling this hot offense that we've been seeing out of Carthage right now, and also getting something going. Continue to push the ball down to the post in Steve Crane and finding a good shot.
Schroeder looking for an outlet. Now he finally gets it out to Acosta. 8 on the shot clock. Inside to Crane, makes the move off the glass and in. Wow. Steve Crane right now cannot be stopped. 58-50. As we approach the 10-minute mark, the halfway mark of this second half.
Feed, feed, feed. That's what you got to keep doing. And to Crane, he's hungry, and we're seeing it right now.
Well, the Blue Jays really need to dig down defensively here. Need a couple of stops. How are you going to stop this guy, though, Jurakovic? Well, they double team, and a blocking foul at the top by Aaron Schroeder, his first. And the team's fourth. Now check that, the team's fifth. Ellingson is back into the game for Elmhurst, along with Zach Boyd. Joe Acosta has been guarding Jurakovic. Now it looks like Zach Boyd is on.
Well, giving Acosta a rest as
Right.
he's on the bench actually right now, and Boyd a great player to have on Jurakovic.
Oh, look at Sieski from the ground, hitting his second three. 8 points for John. It's 11-point lead. Boy, Carthage has just been shooting lights out from downtown here in the second half. Zach Boyd gets fouled. If it was behind the arc, he will shoot three. Thompson with the foul, his second. And indeed, Zach Boyd will shoot three.
Well, Zach Boyd, third on the team list for statistics, leading in the free throw percentage on this team. Finley, who's on the bench, is ahead of everyone. Then McCurdy and then Boyd. So we'll see what he can do with these three.
Hits back iron, about a 79% free throw shooter is Zach Boyd. He'll have 2 more. Chance to cut the lead to single digits here if he can make these next 2 free throws. Back into the game for Carthage is Malcolm Kelly, as Jurakovic will take a breather here at the 9:24 mark, and we'll see if the Blue Jays can take advantage of this with Jurakovic on the bench here.
Well, it's definitely an opportunity for the Blue Jays to take advantage. However, we've been seeing some hot shooting from guys outside of Jurakovic.
John Sieski, just to name one. So Zach hits 2 of 3 from the foul line. It is a 9-point Carthage lead. 9:18 to go. Kelly makes the move. Here's Sieski. Back to Kelly. Kelly's had a good night shooting the ball as well for the Redmen. 12 in the shot clock. Kelly guarded by Zach Boyd. Kelly makes the move, takes it all the way and lays it in. Malcolm Kelly with 14.
Well, that's a kid who's very swift on his feet. 2 points, easy for him there.
Zach Boyd will take the 3, no good. Thompson with the rebound for Carthage. 8:37 remaining, 63-52 Redmen. Nick Clattis gives it up to Sieski here on the near side. Sieski picks up his dribble, looking for an outlet, now gives it up to Mariani. Mariani back to Kelly, 8 on the shot clock. Kelly again with the drive, and it's blocked by Crane, hard off the glass. McCurdy in the open floor. In transition before the shot, a foul is going to be called. Boy, oh boy, what a block by Crane. Foul is going to be on Nick Clattis, his first, and the team's 6th.
Crane knocked off his own feet after that big block down low. Very impressive.
All right, here's Crane on the block, brings it out to McCurdy. Crane, McCurdy, and he got the shot blocked by Mariani, but David fouled him. So McCurdy will come to the line for the first time tonight. He'll shoot 2.
Well, down by 11, we know free throws can be very important, especially down the stretch of a basketball game. Now a little under 8 minutes to play in this one. Still definitely a game that can be controlled by the Blue Jays, but they've got to start now.
Tyler Pierce checks back into the game here for the Redmen. James Robertson into the game for Elmhurst. Second free throw on the way by McCurdy. And it's good. Mike with 7 on the night. And it's 63-53, 10-point lead here by Carthage. Still plenty of time, 7:45 remaining.
Plenty of time indeed, and also Carthage with 7 fouls is going to put the Blue Jays at the line after any foul committed.
Pierce makes the move. Pierce with an off-balance shot, no good. And there's Crane with the rebound.
Big rebound there by Crane. Let's see what we can do with it.
McCurdy to Zach Boyd with the left hand. He lays it in. 9 points for Zach Boyd, and the Blue Jays are within 8. 63-55. The Blue Jays can keep it going here. Mariani holding, now gives it up top to Kelly, and we're going to have a whistle and I believe a timeout. A timeout indeed taken by the Redmen of Carthage here with 7:03 remaining here in this ball game. Carthage enjoying an 8-point lead, 63-55. And Gina, the Blue Jays, they're hanging around.
They are. They're absolutely hanging around. We're within 8 points right now. Just got to keep grinding. We mentioned it before. This is a team that does that indeed and has done it throughout this season, has grinded. And Coach Shear has been impressed with his boys down the stretch of basketball games, and they've just got to keep fighting against this tough Redmond team.
I've been so impressed with Steve Crane coming off the bench for the Blue Jays. He's done an outstanding job for the Blue Jays. He's got 16 points and a whole bunch of rebounds. He's done a nice job on the offensive glass and really Acosta and Boyd, they've combined, and Jurakovic, despite him having 25 points, though, they still done a pretty good job against him, you know?
Yeah,
some of those
have.
shots that he's took were just like from 23 feet out, not much you can do.
We have been doing a decent job controlling such a tough player in Jurakovic. He's still having an outstanding game, and that's definitely worth mentioning. However, great defense we've seen throughout in Joe Acosta, now Zach Boyd taking a turn at playing defense on the stud for Carthage. But hey, we've got a little over 7 minutes to play in this game, and it is still a winnable game for this Blue Jay team.
The next point by Steve Jurakovic will give him 2,300 points for his career in conference play. We mentioned he's 5th in the all-time list. Oh, a good steal there by Steve Crane as they tried to get it inside to Pierce. Making the move is Acosta. And there's Crane with the tip dunk. Oh, Steve Crane got up.
Oh, boy, he sure did.
Oh, my.
Joe Acosta, good drive. Crane right behind him. He's like, I got you, man. Don't worry about this one. It's all me.
A career night here for Steve Crane, no doubt about it. Jurakovic has his pass stolen by McCurdy. 3-on-1 for the Blue Jays in transition. Robertson. Zach Boyd is in trouble. Now he'll bring it out. And we've got a whistle. What's the call? Traveling violation.
Yep.
Wow. Tough break by the Blue Jays. They had a 3-on-1 opportunity, but couldn't capitalize on it.
Well, the excitement certainly got to Zach Boyd. When the ball came in his hands, boy, that was exciting, but we'll see if we can get another stop. Let's go for 3 in a row here.
How about it? 63-57 Carthage. It's been an exciting game. We've enjoyed bringing it to you here on BlueJayTV.com. Mark Kruger along with Gina Veneer. Thank you so much for logging on. Great CCIW battle here in Elmhurst tonight. All right, here's Jurakovic, guarded by Zach Boyd. 13 on the shot clock. Jurakovic makes his move, kicks it out to Thompson. His 3 is good. Wow.
Boy, those 3-pointers have literally been just killing the Blue Jays. They're trying so hard to control.
Zach Boyd misses the 3, trying to answer at the other end. Off the fingertips of Steve Crane as he battled for the offensive rebound.
All right.
66-57. We need to stop here, Gina.
Absolutely, Mark. Carthage, you are cut off on the 3-pointers. That is enough.
No more, right? Jurakovic to Thompson. Those two guys have been outstanding tonight. Thompson back to Jurakovic with 15 on the shot clock. Pierce trying to set a screen at the top. Pierce gets it. Here's Cladis, and he hits the 3. Wow. His first 3 points of the game, Nick Cladis. Carthage now by 12. Boy, the Blue Jays cut it down to 6. And now just like that, it's 12 with under 5 minutes to go. And a timeout taken, a full timeout taken by Coach Scher, and we'll take one as well. 4:53 remaining. Carthage 69, Elmhurst 57. We're back in a moment.
I wasn't sure getting out of high school if I wanted to bowl in college, but after I graduated high school, I knew that there wasn't any way I was going to not be able to do it. So I'm glad that I came to Elmhurst because it gave me that chance. Last year was a good year, had the first winning record for the team. I really like being on the team. It brings a lot of people together and it makes it a lot easier to meet other people. We're with each other 24/7 on the weekends when we have tournaments and like 3 days a week for practice. Some of us work out together, go to dinner together. It's nice having those close friends to always fall back on if you need something, and they're always willing to help.
And we welcome you back to R.A. Fagno Hall as you take a look at the Blue Jay huddle. Coach Scher calling out instructions to his team. 4:53 remaining, 69-57. And Gina, we were just kind of talking about it. Time starting to become a factor here down 12.
It is, and that may be the Blue Jays' biggest challenge down the stretch here with under 5 minutes to play, down by 12. Time not only time, but the offense of Carthage is going to be their biggest challenge.
McCurdy gets it into Robertson. Back to McCurdy. Here's Joe Acosta with an entry pass into Crane. Crane splits the defenders, has the ball stripped, and Cladis comes away with it in the corner for Carthage. Well, Steve Crane made the spin move, but one of the Redmond defenders got a hand in there and stripped the ball. Good defensive play. And now Jurakovic will run some clock. 15 on the shot clock, 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the game clock. They'll wind it down here. Under 10 seconds. Jurakovic fades, and he hits. Jurakovic with now 2,301 career conference points, 5th in the all-time scoring list. 27
tonight, which is noteworthy for Jurakovic, and boy, oh boy, got to keep the ball out of the hands of number 21.
71 to 57, the Redmen enjoying their biggest lead of the night. Joe Acosta with a bounce pass, Zach Boyd with a nice drive in the bucket. 71-59.
I'm a little surprised to not see more of a press right now, Mark.
I was just about to say the same thing. With 3.5 minutes remaining, we'll see if the Blue Jays can try to just create some turnovers and try to get back into this game. Still time left, 3:20 to go. But the Redmen, as you see here, are taking as much time off the shot clock as possible. Shot clock down to 7. Jurakovic will launch the 3. Back iron, nope. McCurdy, and it's Joe Acosta coming up with the rebound. Boyd into McCurdy, goes to the reverse and lays it in.
Wow, that was pretty.
Beautiful play by Mike McCurdy. Well, it's a 10-point game. Hold everything here, folks. Just under 3 minutes.
That was a Derrick Rose move
right there. Yeah, it sure was. 9 points for Mike McCurdy. You need a couple of stops now, desperately, if you're the Blue Jays. Now Acosta's back on Jurakovic. And Jurakovic at the top will hold again. Shot clock now at 10. Getting instructions from his dad, Bosco Jurakovic on the sideline. Steve between the legs dribble. Here's Cladis, and he did not get the shot off. It's a shot clock violation, but they took off 35 seconds off the game clock.
Exactly.
2:19 remaining.
It's kind of almost a good situation for both teams, really. No loss there by the Redmen. Taking off 35 seconds is huge.
Yeah. Well, 3 ball here, and you're only down 7. Here's Acosta to Robertson. Zach Boyd now. McCurdy.
Well, somebody's got to take it.
There's Robertson. He's an open look, no good, and a strong rebound by Mitch Thompson.
A good look back and forth between the shooters of this Blue Jay basketball team. Robertson getting a good look. Fortunately not dropping on that 3-pointer.
And a timeout taken here by Bosco Jurakovic, the head coach for the Carthage Redmen. See if it's a 30 or a full timeout. It is a full timeout here. We'll keep it here with 1:43 remaining. The Redmen lead it by 10, 71 to 61. And if you're Coach Scher and the Blue Jays right now, Gina, with only 1:43 remaining, at this point in time, you really have no other choice but to foul.
You've got to foul. You absolutely do. And actually, they have 2 to spare, so fouling quick is important to get this Redmond team on the line and an opportunity to get the ball back in the hands of the Blue Jays, but shots have got to fall for the Blue Jays down the stretch.
Both teams will have tough CCIW battles this Saturday. The Blue Jays will travel to Illinois Wesleyan, and that's no easy task Saturday night. Meanwhile, the Redmen will travel to Rock Island to take on Augustana this Saturday night as well. But first things first, we've got 1:43 remaining in this one here in Elmhurst. Gina mentioned earlier the 125th meeting between these two schools. Carthage has the overall lead, 75 to 49. Steve Jurakovic, we mentioned him, over 2,300 points. He passed Bill Warden who was my head coach at North Central College back in the day. And he also passed Jack Sikma. You're too young to remember Jack Sikma, but he was a longtime professional with the Seattle Supersonics.
All right.
NBA All-Star. All right, we'll see if the Blue Jays can get a stop here. Jurakovic almost had it stripped by Acosta. And boy, they're running off the clock. Yeah, Joe's got a, went off of Jurakovic,
right.
So there's your steal.
Well, there's a break.
Yeah. 1:31 remaining, and now if you're the Blue Jays, you need to get a shot off quickly. You can't waste much time.
You're right.
McCurdy, Boyd, Robertson. Robertson's got to look for that three. Zach Boyd kicks it out. McCurdy for three. No, and Kelly with the rebound.
Wasn't able to get a solid grip on the basketball there. McCurdy rushing his shot. And now it's going to be a foul game for the Blue Jays to just try to get the ball back on offense. But now just a little over a minute to play. It's going to be a big challenge.
Second foul for Acosta. That's only the team's sixth, Gina, so they will not shoot until the next foul. And there it is. Robertson in the backcourt fouls Nick Cladis.
Well, that's exactly the path that this Blue Jay basketball team has to take right now. Just foul, give themselves an opportunity, give themselves a chance. And that's all they can really do at this point.
Right, down 10 with 1:12 to go. Nick Cladis has a three-point field goal here in the second half. First trip to the foul line, and he hits 4 points on the night for Cladis. The lead is 11. Cladis hits the two free throws. 73-61. Carthage as a team, a 72% free throw shooting team. Not too bad. Robertson leans in. The floater, no, and the ball was knocked out of bounds by Crane. Under a minute remaining, Carthage by 12. Thompson gets it in to Jurakovic. And it doesn't even look like the Blue Jays are going to bother to foul at this point. Although Jurakovic, not the guy you really want to foul. 85% free throw shooter.
Yeah, respectable move by Coach Scheer. Down by 12, you know. Now with 15 seconds on this possession, a little over 30 seconds left in this ball game, you know, it's an interesting decision, but a respectable one.
Jurakovic hands it off to Kelly with 4 on the shot clock. Kelly will launch the three. No. Crane with yet another rebound for the Blue Jays. Here's Acosta giving it to Robertson. Robertson will spot it for the three, and it can't get it to go. Crane with the rebound, another putback for Steve. And a timeout taken by Coach Scheer, and he immediately says, I just called the timeout to stop the clock. Let's play ball.
Cut the music.
Yeah, cut the music. Let's just get back into it here.
Again, respectful move.
Right.
15 years here as the Elmhurst College head coach. Had a big week last week, celebrated a good number. 225 wins, beating Milliken. And this one, unfortunately, not a win, but a respectful game. This Blue Jay basketball team fought all the way through, Mark.
It was a battle. There's no question about it, and you're right. They did fight all the way to the end, but it was the Redmen coming away with a 10-point victory, 73-63. Steve Jurakovic was the leading scorer in tonight's game. He had 27. Malcolm Kelly had 14 to pace the Redmen for the Blue Jays of Elmhurst. Steve Crane, what a job he did off the bench. 20 points, and I believe he had about 12 or 14 rebounds as well. Zach Boyd was in double figures as well with 11. So the Blue Jays will now fall to 6-8 overall, 1-2 in conference play. Carthage 9-5 overall, 2-1 in the CCIW. We're going to take a timeout and come back to R.A. Fagler Hall to wrap things up. You're listening to Blue Jay Basketball on BlueJayTV.com.
College football 4 years is very tough, but it's also very, very rewarding. And I think this past year is just a tribute to the hard work that I put in these past 3 years, and the team did. I mean, we won the most football games since 1985. That was probably the biggest highlight of my 4 years here. We had our ups and we had our downs, and I think we just stayed together through those and persevered together. Well, my professional goal is to teach and coach. You know, definitely want to coach football. I got the experience from the 4 years at Elmhurst, which is going to be very beneficial for coaching experience in the future.
I've had a great experience at Elmhurst, I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
We're actually really good this year. There's 23 of us on the team, so it's quite a large team. We were close friends. A lot of the teammates lived together with other teammates. In high school, I wasn't the most organized person because sports were just kind of a side note in high school. Here, you have to really balance yourself. Division III, it's more academics first, softball second. So our coach really strives on the academic portion of the school. And just like yesterday, we had a game. I went to class and came late to the game instead, but the game was canceled, luckily. Softball's really kind of taught me some organization skills, I guess.
Highlights, I'd probably say being on the tennis team is the first one. I get along with the guys really well. We just got back from our spring break trip in Hilton Head. That was really fun. It was good team bonding. A lot of people are friendly. I haven't met too many non-friendly people, I'd say. Everybody's pretty welcoming. The life around here, I'd say, is pretty good. I have a job off campus. I teach tennis for kids. My coach helped me out with it. He worked there when he was in high school. I try to do as much as I can while I'm here.
And we welcome you back to R.A. Fagel Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College. The Carthage Redmen with the 10-point victory here tonight, 73-63. Our very own Gina Vanier is standing by with the head coach of the Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Let's go down to Gina right now. Gina.
Gina Vanier here courtside with Coach Mark Scheer of the Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Mark, a tough battle tonight against this Carthage Redmen basketball team. They came out strong. You guys did a great job fighting all throughout the game, though.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job, Gina, coming back in the mid part of the first half and showed a lot of fortitude in that situation. We had a lot of guys come up strong. Steve Crane had a breakout game for us and played very well, and so did Eric Dornfeld. So we're very happy with those performances, but obviously we want to get the win.
We saw a fight, as you mentioned, with guys coming off the bench in Steve Crane. 20 points for you guys tonight. It's nice to see that fire coming out of him. What do you expect more out of him the rest of the season?
Well, we hope that this propels him to continue to play well. We know Steve's capable, and he's been doing better and better for us.
Well, things don't get too much easier for you. Saturday, big game in the CCIW conference against Wesleyan. What will preparation and practice look like, and what's the approach going to be?
Well, we've got to kind of find ourselves offensively and put up more points on the board. So tomorrow what we're primarily going to do is watch some film and take a look at what we did and decide what kind of team we want to be, whether we're going to be a transition team or a team that moves the ball in a half-court situation. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and kind of regroup, and it doesn't get any easier, as you said, and that's the great thing about playing in the CCIW.
Thanks a lot for your time, Coach, and good luck on Saturday.
All right, Gina, thank you very much. Coach Scheer, thank you so much for stopping by and getting your thoughts on tonight's ball game. And boy, oh boy, yeah, just a final thought on Steve Crane. 20 points, 14 rebounds. A great effort off the bench for the Blue Jays here tonight. Steve with 9 offensive rebounds in the game. James Robertson with a dozen. Zach Boyd, the third player for the Blue Jays, in double figures with 11. As for the Redmen of Carthage, they were led by Steve Jurakovic, CCIW Player of the Year, the All-American with 27 points. Malcolm Kelly chipped in with 14 points. Mitch Thompson with 9 points for the Redmen. And You know, as far as this game is concerned, Gina, you take a look at the numbers, and Elmhurst out-rebounded the Redmen 35-31. So for Coach Scher, you know, some positives coming out of tonight.
Absolutely. He mentioned a few guys down there during the interview. Eric Dornfeld, Steve Crane, of course, big game offensively and defensively. He's pleased, I think, Mark, overall with this performance. And we know the caliber of this Carthage basketball team, and it was a heck of a performance by the Blue Jays.
You know, they only put up 45 points last Saturday against Augustana, so they come out tonight with 63. But I thought it was very interesting what Coach Scher talked to you about, and that is we're looking for a little bit of identity offensively. Do we want to push the ball up the floor? Do we want to put it in a half-court pace? And that's something that they need to work out.
Absolutely, and it's kind of finding that rhythm. And I mentioned it during the broadcast, finding a chemistry as a basketball team is hard to do, especially when you're moving guys in and out of the lineup as Coach Scher tends to do. But he's looking for a team that is solid, identifies themselves as a certain kind of team, and they're going to discover that throughout the season.
Gina, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time, all right?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so much once again for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Once again, your final score out here in Elmhurst. Carthage wins it by 10, 73-63. So for our producer and director, Glenn Liljeberg, our camera operator, Phil Petrusig, our executive producer, Kevin Juday, for Gina Veneer, Mark Kruger saying so long from Elmhurst. Once again, your final score, Carthage 73, Elmhurst 63. We'll speak to you next time. So long, everybody.